Good morning. I'm on my way to work. Just dropped the little boys off, and right now I'm on my way to try to figure out how to get my kids. My kids were in a school during a bomb threat. Some dude in a mask walked into my kids' school, told them to evacuate the kids. So I got a text saying that my kids were at an address behind the school. In the text I got, it said something like, your kids are at this place, this is the address. To come get them, you need your ID. There was a bomb threat at the school. What? The guy is still out there, says he's got a freaking carload of bombs, wants the news involved, and he's working it out. Apparently, I don't know what the heck's gonna happen. Like, usually when they ask for the news, they're saying that because they're about to do a police suicide attempt is what they're doing. All those incidences where you listen and you watch people lose their kids over things like this, instantly I'm like, this is not supposed to happen to my kids.
The force?
You okay, Em?
The guy?
Yeah. Why are you all teary-eyed?
The big guy with a gun. He has a green dress on.
Mm-hmm.
The guy has a green dress on?
I think he's from ISIS.
And he has like a hat. Yeah, this weird white hat. I have a picture.
He went in the school with a mask on.
Is she?
Tell me what happened today.
So at school there was a lockdown when A-Track left. I was doing things that we post to Switch until it's at the end of the day for the entire school to be over. And we were on the last one until it said evacuate the school. Then me and my class went out to the fence, climbed up over the fence. Not all my people, not A-trackers, only B-trackers. Mostly
The later class, that's what B-trackers are.
Only the...
My class started to cry, and I was mostly the only boy that almost cried.
Oh,
But
were
I
you
didn't.
scared a little?
Yeah. My heart was pumping so hard.
Yeah.
I thought.
That's scary when a
you
little
guys-
kid feels adrenaline.
And then
You guys went to the school, or you went to a neighbor's, the secretary's house behind the school.
we were just staying in their backyard, and then we got treats.
100 kids. 100 kids were in there.
Yeah,
Huh?
it could fit the whole entire backyard.
700.
It was like crowded.
Given in the hundreds for
My-
A-Track.
Every
Yeah, it was. It said 100 kids.
everybody in my class got checked out, and then checked out, and I was the only last one.
Aww.
I was the fourth.
And then your brother got you?
I was scared until my teacher said stay with me, and I did. And then we had to go on the bus to the church, and
We had
then
to
I
go to
saw
bus
him,
pack.
and then I almost.
You almost started cry when you saw your brother
Or three
come get you?
And then those bad guys were
The
playing.
bad guy.
The bad
There
guys
was
Stop,
more
you're
than
knocking
one.
my
put
arm.
explosives in the school, so the cops came.
They weren't in the school. The guy had explosives.
He
He
could've
said he
put
had explosives in
explosives.
his car, and he parked the car right up by the front doors.
He could have He could have put explosives in the school.
Could have.
I was scared to go to school tomorrow.
Yeah, me too.
Are you scared?
So am I.
Zip it.
You don't even go to that school.
Okay, tell me your side. What happened to you? You were in the bathroom?
So I was in the
Itching my leg.
bathroom with my friend Curb, and so while I was at the urinal thingy, right as I started to take a whiz, they're
could
like,
you
it's
see
a
me almost
lockdown
cry?
drill. And I was like, oh, it's a drill, so walk. And I saw all the teachers, they're like, go! They're like screaming,
Can you see me starting to
and I
cry?
grabbed my friend, and I put him on my back because he's pretty slow, and I was like, come on. I ran,
Aw.
we got there, and then we went outside. We had to go.
They took the kids out the back door, across the play yard, right?
Yeah, and then we went to a fence. We went like way out
Where the
of
door is.
school grounds, and then yeah, the teachers had to go where the guy was to get their cars. Yeah,
They didn't need to get their cars in the moment.
that's how all the cars were gone.
Really?
A lot of the cars were still there.
I know. The principal and the people that work up in the office.
And the lunch lady was in her office. Did you know this?
No, she was in the storage room. She got stuck in the storage room.
She got stuck, but she was stuck in there while you guys were all evacuated. She was still in the building. She didn't know about it, and then she came out and...
Who?
The lunch lady, I guess.
Oh.
How was she stuck?
She didn't know about it, and so
Storage room
everybody
locked.
left. They evacuated, and she was in this. She ended up having to go hide in the storage room.
Yeah, she went and hid in the storage room behind a bunch of boxes. The only reason why I know that is because Angela's mom, she's friends with her, and she was texting Angela's mom while she was hiding, and she was like
gosh.
super scared. She was having a panic attack, and
I would too. I'd be
nobody
freaking
could
out.
go in there to help her
Right.
because they didn't want to risk anybody getting hurt.
Right, they could have gone through the back door.
Yeah, but
She didn't know.
no,
Wait,
they
so
didn't.
she
They
was
weren't letting
locked?
anybody around the school at all.
What's business?
So after we evacuated, the
Like, would this
guy
be
was
business
getting
casual?
like
This
all
thing?
calm and stuff. So apparently we had to move farther. So we went to one of the office people's house. An hour there. An hour there. We
I'll
went.
take him.
Stop interrupting.
We went to this bus and fit 100 kids in one tiny bus.
I
It was
was in
super
it.
small.
I was in it with
Were you guys
Bridger.
sitting in the aisle?
What?
Was there people sitting in the aisle?
What is that?
The part where you walk.
There's so many kids in it, and they took you over to the church.
Teacher's supposed to
It was
stand in the
smaller
aisle.
than the smallest like school bus.
Yeah, but they transported you from her house to the church, right?
Yes.
And right when you got to the church, Austin was there.
Yeah.
And then were you relieved when you saw Austin? Yeah. So I think Jake got contact about this whole thing before I did. I got out on my break and saw the text from the school, from somebody from the school, and said, Bridger, I have Bridger, there's been a lockdown, he's at this address, you'll need ID. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? And then I called, did I call you, Jake? No, I called her. And she said that there was a bomb threat, and they had moved, they'd evacuated the whole school. So all the kids were at this secretary's house, but they didn't say anything about Theron. So I was like, what in the heck? I kind of freaked out, and then they tracked down Theron while I was on the phone, and he was right there too. So it was just a matter of driving from work, South Jordan, all the way home, which is normally a 45-minute drive, and I did it in 20 minutes. Oops. And during that time, we finally got the audio message from the school.
An earlier message was sent to parents via email and phone that did not go through, so we are sending this message again. At approximately 2:15 today, a man in a mask entered the office at Eagle Valley Elementary School and said, "Evacuate the kids and no one will get hurt." Police were notified immediately and are investigating the situation. Early bird students had already gone home, and our later Gator students evacuated the building, and all students were accounted for. Initially, students were evacuated to the city center and to a nearby residence. So that parents do not need to drive near the school, all students were later transported by bus to the LDS Stake Center. School and district staff are facilitating the pickup process. We apologize for the late message and appreciate your understanding.
Anyways, but the whole thing, trying to get home and around, they had all the roads blocked off, but then they're like, come get your kids. I would if I could. Anyway, so Austin was ahead of us. Allie and Austin run out there, and we ended up, as soon as the kids were in the car, I felt so much relief. And then we had to drive kind of by it to get home. But it was super scary.
I had a panic attack.
Amber was freaking out.
And then my friends came over,
So hot.
and they, like, I could not breathe inside because I felt like the air was, like, super heavy.
She was super nervous.
And then, so my friends came in and they helped me, like, calm down. And so I went outside and then,
Jake was stuck doing his stuff, so he couldn't rush home. So it was good to, anyway,
scared of
And then
explosive.
the good news is we have our brother-in-law that's a sheriff here, and so he was giving us the skinny on everything, telling us when they got the guy and all that stuff. Told me exactly where the kids were, and that's the only reason why we knew where they were, was because Roger, I was calling, I talked to him like 4 or 5, I don't know. I talked to him a few times before we got there. But for a mom, knowing that your kids are in a situation like that, and you're, wow, I hate it. Can we go back to homeschooling?
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
I wish we could. Can't afford it. Jake, what did you think about today?
Oh, it was crazy. Luckily, we have an in with the sheriff's department out here with our Utah County Sheriff, who's a brother-in-law of ours. He called me. I think I was one of the first people that called, because he got the call from the sheriff's office asking if he could help make calls to families. So he called and asked me what school it was at. And he goes, yeah, there was a bomb threat. Some jihadist guys out chanting Allah Akbar or whatever, and has a car full of bombs or whatever, and that the kids have all been safely removed from the school, but they're getting ready to call parents to come and pick them up at different locations once they have a central location set up. So, and I was in the middle of getting shots in the physical. So
Did that freak you out?
it didn't really freak me out. I wasn't really worried about it. I knew that they had it under control. Once they told me the kids were off campus and safe, I knew there was nothing to worry about. I was more worried about if there really was a bomb, it possibly damaging the house.
Yeah, like when Roger told me, well, when I talked to the secretary, and they told me that they were in a neighborhood behind the school, I was like, they're not far enough away. Like, get them further away. And then they moved them to the church. But I also got another message a little while later that said basically that that they're having extra counselors at school for the kids that feel like they need it. And so I thought that was cool. Did you get that message too?
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. They have people there specifically about it that are trained to talk about stuff like this.
They're probably people from my school, the counselors from my school.
It's
Okay,
counselors
Bear.
from all over Utah County.
Theron's worried that there's still bombs in the school, or that the guy put a bomb in the school and they missed it. But good news is one of the first things that he said was get the kids out of the school. He has a 9-year-old. He's a parent to one of the kids there. Which is bizarre. Who does that? Who wakes up one morning and is like, I'm gonna go do a bomb threat at my kid's school today?
Mama goes, my bucket list is an exploded school. And make a bucket list.
And make a bucket list. But after the kids were home, after everybody was home, I heard them yelling like in intercom, and then all of a sudden, like a few minutes later, Jake's mom called to tell me that on the police scanner of Rogers, that they caught him, and they were just containing the bomb, but still, it was insane. And I left work early. Anyways, love your kids, hug your kids, appreciate every ounce of time you have with them, because you never know when it's going to be over.
Can we A-track?
Why?
Yeah, if we were A-track, we wouldn't have been through that.
Oh. But now you have a cool story to tell.